Hello, welcome to Clash of the Rams, the sports talk show. I'm your host, Jeremy Hayes. Along with me, my co-host, Kim Perez.
Hi, how are you?
Good. All right, now we're going to jump right into our Clash of the Rams finale, which is our championship. So, Kim, how does it work?
Well, our Clash of the Rams debate tournament consists of 6 different analysts, and they have 3 minutes to debate their topics. We also have 3 off-the-camera judges.
And the judges will judge after they're done debating, but you won't be able to see them, but Kim will call them out and let us know who won. So let's jump right into the first round. We got Davison Perez.
How's everybody doing?
And Ashley Cassia.
Hi, guys.
First debate, a lot of pressure on both of you. I hope you're ready. But,
I think we're ready.
Davison, you're the higher seed. Would you like to defer or go first?
I'll go first.
You'll go first?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get ready to start the clock. You're going to have 3 minutes. Kim, what is their topic?
More impressive streak, Heat or Blackhawks?
Go.
Well, I think it's important to note that when you're talking about the Heat, you have to acknowledge first that they're champions. They won this past year, and you know that their streak means a lot for their team, for the legacy of several players on their team, and just for the history of the franchise.
Well, that's exactly the point. They are champions. The Blackhawks went 24 games in regulation with a point in each game, and they created a record for best start of the season. And the Heat didn't have a record. And the Heat, exactly like you said, they're champions. So it's not that unexpected for them to have this streak and do well. Whereas the Blackhawks, their last season finished 6th in the West. They weren't the best team like the Heat are.
Well, when you have to understand that when you're on top and you're the #1 team, and you have so much controversy surrounding you, like the Miami Heat, you're still nothing you ever do is good enough. So they won the championship, and this year, instead of celebrating the fact that they won the championship, it's like, what are you gonna do next? Are you gonna follow that up, or?
But the Heat,
how is LeBron James gonna do in the season? And just back to what you said about them not having a record, they actually did break a record. They're second in winning streaks this year with 27. And just the fact that you're being mentioned on a list where the 71 Lakers with Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, all of these great legends, and you're talking about the Heat as one of the top legends.
Yeah.
So it's very
But the
very
Heat
impressive.
have 3 of the best players in the NBA, whereas the Blackhawks don't. Their 2 leading guys are 24 years old, who've only been in the league for 5 years, and the Heat's 3 guys have been in the league for 10-plus years. And the thing that makes it such a difference is in the NHL and the NBA has a soft cap that they could go over $70 million. So they're building their team to be the best team. They are paying $13 million more with an NHL. Everything is fair competition. The Blackhawks can't have 6 Sidney Crosbys and 20 other players. They have to. Everyone is fair.
Left.
So you can't. If you're buying your team, basically, it'd be shocking if they weren't the best.
That has nothing to do with the actual winning streak, though. The actual winning streak is.
But they're the best team. They should be winning every game.
I mean, they should be winning, but with all of the controversy and all of the adversity that they have against them, it's pretty impressive that they put up the numbers that they did and did it the way that they did, losing players along the way, like Ray Allen when he got hurt, and Dwayne Wade with his recent injuries. Like the fact that they overcame all of those obstacles is something to talk about.
If they're true athletes, I don't think overcoming obstacles is nothing. The Blackhawks came into a shortened season after some of them were playing overseas, some of them not playing at all, and then they come in with a week of training camp to build a team and then start off the season going 24 games, gaining a point. It's incredible. And they're young guys.
But when you have so many good teams in the league, like the Thunder.
You're going to get the last word anyway. You have keep it under 10 seconds. You went first, so you get to go first. You defer, so she gets the last word. Just to clarify for everybody.
So basically, my point is, it's so impressive because the Heat are playing with all of these other good teams, like the Thunder, like the Clippers, like the Celtics are even up there, even though they had a down year. They're playing against other teams, like you said, that the NBA has a lot more money. So all of these teams that are in top contention are good, so they have to face against these higher level teams. So in a sense, it is a level playing field.
All right. I think a team coming in after a lockout, winning or getting a point in 24 straight games, and not being the best team last year, not winning a championship, and being totally unexpected is so much more impressive, especially because it is fair competition and fair game amongst every single team in the NHL. They're not buying their players like the Heat are.
All right. I'm glad I did not have to vote for that one. It's pretty close. But we're going to send it over to our judges. And Kim, who is the winner?
And the winner is going to be Ashley.
Good job, Davison.
All right.
Good job,
That was a
guys.
very good debate though to start off. Congratulations to you both, and please walk off. All right, that was pretty close.
That was a really good one.
But we're going to have to see if Ashley can go up against Mike, who's the #1 seed. So we're going to ask that our next people come on down. And so far, we have our #5 seed
Yeah.
going up against #1. And with us now, we have Ryan Chevy Chevalier,
Hey.
Jared Doherty.
This is my first debate ever.
Yeah, you haven't debated all year, so it's going to be interesting to see what you bring to the table. But we have our #3 and our #6 seed. So Ryan, you can either defer or go first. Which would you like?
I'll defer.
You'll defer. So Jared, you're going to go first. Kim, what is their question?
Who will win the AL East, Red Sox or Blue Jays?
Go.
All right, so the Toronto Blue Jays this year, a team that was better than the Red Sox last year, and this year they add 55 years of Major League Baseball experience to their team. They added talent and experience, and I'll let you take off your opening statement.
Well, I just believe that you look at the Blue Jays, made some moves, but they're moves that I don't know if their starting rotation has enough wins to do it. I'll explain a little bit later, but I think that the Red Sox have a better rotation and right now have a better chance to win that division.
Okay, you talk about pitching rotation. The Toronto, they get last year's NL Cy Young. They get R.A. Dickey, who is legit. They have Josh Johnson, who is legit. He did start out bad last year, but his potential is there. I would take Josh Johnson over Clay Buchholz any day. I would take R.A. Dickey over John Lester, who has struggled the last 3 years. John Lester also doesn't have the wins that just apparently the Toronto don't have. They have depth in their starting rotation.
All right, Josh Johnson, he went 10-16 last year, and then R.A. Dickey, before his Cy Young year, went 19-22 overall. They're not consistent winning pitchers in this
And
league.
is John Lester?
John
Lester's
Lester had
last season.
one off season, and every other season you look at, great numbers.
Okay, so they have John Lester, and then they have Clay Buchholz, who is bound to get injured. And R.A. Dickey, he won the Cy Young last year. He's bound to get, yes, he's been injured the last 3 seasons. He's bound to get injured. Despite the pitching, they still have depth. They still have Mark Buehrle as their third. Junichi Tozawa versus Mark Buehrle. Who'd you go with? They also have Ricky Romero coming back. I'd go Romero over whoever the Red Sox.
Ricky Romero had a horrible
I know,
year
he did, but
last
what was
year.
his year before that? He came off a bad year. They're all coming off bad years. But let's talk about the offense. The Toronto Blue Jays, they've just added Jose Reyes. They have added Melky Cabrera. They have added... then they also have Edwin Encarnacion, who had 42 home runs last year. The Red Sox added Mike Napoli. I would take Edwin Encarnacion over Mike Napoli. 42 home runs, 280, over 100 RBIs.
Melky Cabrera was about 250 batter before he got caught for enhancement drugs, and then Jose Reyes has been 280 batter for a career. They don't have a batter right now who's batted 290 in their career, and Jose Reyes is a great player, but they also have injury problems.
But we're talking about the Red Sox. Their shortstop versus Jose Reyes, Iglesias versus Jose Reyes. And don't forget,
Drew.
Yeah, Steven Drew. Yeah, bound to be. What's he doing injured right now?
Iglesias is batting 500.
He's doing great right now,
so
but it's been 6 games into the season. It's a 162 game season. Don't forget, Toronto also has Jose Bautista, who is a consistent.
Bautista coming off a wrist injury,
and
only hit 25.
Exactly, and how did he hit the 2 years before it? So if he comes back, he's legit now. He's
wrist injury is very important.
But how's he starting out the season right now? He's already hitting home runs already. He's back into it. Give him a full season, see how he does. The last 2 seasons, he's been one of the best hitters in baseball.
Injuries hurt.
All right, wait. Jared, you get to go first.
Toronto has added...
Keep it under 10 seconds.
Toronto has added 55 years of experience this offseason to a Red Sox team that is struggling. It's coming off a horrible year, and Toronto has this year. Toronto has it. They have the talent.
The Red Sox have the experience this year. A.J. Happ, he's only 16-26 over his last 2 seasons before this. You have R.A. Dickey, like I said, 19-22 before the Cy Young. These are not consistent winning pitchers, and also the hitters on the team are pretty good, but you have Jose Bautista coming off an injury.
All right, make sure we keep it under 10 seconds, like 10 to 15 seconds for your final statements. Another tough one. I would want to judge that one again, but we'll send it to the judges, and the winner is?
And the winner is Jared.
Wow. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Good debate, though. All right, and now we're going to move on to our next round, which is actually going to our people who've had buys. And the first one is reigning champ. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Mike
How about
McMahon.
you? Yeah,
pretty
pressure's
good.
on this year.
Feeling good
Those
about
first
this
two
one?
debates, yeah.
A
A
little
little
more
nervous
relaxed.
going
Little-
against the
little
reigning
more
champ.
relaxed?
Yeah, I'm a little more relaxed this year.
All right.
I think.
Ashley just came off a big win.
Good debate. Yeah, it was
So,
good.
all right, but as the higher seed, you get to defer or go first. So
I'll defer to Ashley.
you'll defer to Ashley. So
Yeah.
Ashley, you're going to go first. What is her topic? Kim?
Which one is the better New York team, the Rangers or the Islanders?
Go.
I'm going to have to go with the New York Islanders for many reasons. First of all, the Rangers were first in the Eastern Conference last year, and now are struggling to get into the playoffs as it is. And the Islanders and the Rangers, yes, they have very similar statistics, so it's very hard to judge. But a team that is loaded like the Rangers are, and to almost win the President's Cup last year, and now to be struggling to score goals and not to be in the playoffs, is not a best team. Islanders are so much better, and they. Okay, you could take it.
Okay, well, I mean, look, so looking for me, the debate isn't who's the more impressive team; it's who's the better team. And so,
Right.
yes, the Rangers are underperforming this year, considering all the things that they've
Most
done.
underachieving team.
But they're still tied in the standings with the
Right.
Islanders. And also, you said that their statistics are very similar. They're actually incredibly different. The Islanders are 24th in team defense. The Rangers are 4th.
Okay, but in defense, the Islanders have more goals combined in their defense than the Rangers do, and the Islanders.
Yeah, but they're also giving up more than almost twice as many.
Then how are they? Yeah, but they're 8th in the league for goals, like goals per game. When the Rangers are 26, and they have, before giving up Gabrick, they had 330-plus goal scorers.
Okay, yeah, so the thing I would say about that is Brad Richards and Rick Nash got off to really slow starts, which, you know what, in a 48-game season, that's a little bit more big of a deal. In a longer season, that wouldn't be a big deal at all. And the other thing you have to look at is, the Islanders, their top line. Okay, John Tavares, Molson, I'll give you those guys. But you know what? Their top line is, John Tavares is -6.
But he's elite third with most goals in the
your
NHL.
But your best player on your team is in the negative.
Okay, so
and
wait,
plus minus.
tell me this. Okay, the Rangers and Islanders play a very similar game. They both rely so much heavily on their first line. The Islanders' first line combined has 105 goals, and the points, and the Rangers combined has 85.
Yeah, okay, so they're scoring,
and the Islanders.
So they're scoring all these goals, but they're still only almost 500. In the playoffs, if you can't play defense, you're not gonna win. Evgeny Nabokov is not the goaltender you want to go into the playoffs and depend on. I mean, look what he did with the Sharks. The Sharks never won any playoff series. I mean, the Sharks always choked in the playoffs. Evgeny Nabokov is not going to be the goaltender in the playoffs. Henrik Lundqvist, are you kidding me?
Yeah, so
I'll take Henrik Lundqvist's 2.07 every day of the week.
I
over
would be
Nabokov.
ridiculous to say Henrik Lundqvist isn't a better goalie than Nabokov. Obviously is. But you can't win playoff games if you're not scoring goals. And yes, their defense might be suffering, but they're still more productive and more achieving. And the thing that the Islanders have that the Rangers don't is secondary scoring. Their second line has produced more goals and more points than the Islanders have. They have produced 10 more.
Okay, so they traded Gabrick, but look who they got back. Derek Brassard has been really impressive in his first 3 games. He already has almost 4 points, okay? And then going into the playoffs, it comes on the coaching, too. I'll take Tortorella over Jack Capuano any day of the week.
But then why hasn't the Rangers won Stanley Cup since '94 when their team has always been loaded and they're so inconsistent? They're not going to win.
All right, okay, well, Tortorella's only been there a couple of years. And then you look at, so they were the top team in the East last year.
And time. You're going to get your last word in, but Ashley goes first.
A team that came in with so much hype on them and is struggling to even stay in the playoffs is not the best team. The Islanders, they're young, they're hungry, they're going to be more productive, and even though people want to count them out as not a playoff contender, they most certainly are with their strong first and second line.
Okay, I'll give you that the Islanders have been impressive this year, but right now they're competing for the 7 and 8 seeds. If I'm the Penguins, the number 1 seed in the East, who would I rather play? The Rangers and the Islanders. Absolutely, the Rangers are more scary of a team. Henrik Lundqvist gets hot in the playoffs along with Rick Nash.
They have
and their
no
other offensive
defense.
players.
All right,
And their other offensive
They're
players.
not feisty anymore.
Wow, that got huge. That was a really good
That was a
debate,
fun
guys.
one.
We're going to send it over to our judges.
And our winner is Ashley once again. Sorry.
Wow,
Good job,
that was a
Mike.
pretty big upset. That was a great.
That was a good
very
one. It was
close,
a tough
I'm
one.
gonna say that right now. That was one of our better
that was a
debates.
fun
But
one.
great
Yeah.
job, guys. All right, so you can go ahead and walk off. All right, so the winner goes on to play Ashley, and I'm up next.
Yep. So
I'm a
are
little
you ready
nervous
for
now.
that? Nervous?
I'm a little nervous. I gotta go get through Jared first, but we'll see if that can happen. How you doing, Jared?
This is the debate I wanted to have.
All right.
I'm looking forward to
Okay.
this.
All right, you were very good in your first debate. I was impressed, but we'll see how it goes from here. Oh, and by the way, I will defer to you, so you can go first. And Kim, you're going to keep track of time. It's going to be
Yes.
3 minutes.
Okay, so your question is hockey still a major sport in America? Go.
So the question is asking if they're a major sport in America. It's not asking are they the least popular or the most popular. Yes, probably the NBA, MLB, and NFL are more popular, but the NHL is still an extremely popular sport, and it's a major sport in America. And I'll let you start out from there.
All right, we're talking about major sport in America. People get this false idea that it's a Mount Rushmore. So there are always going to be 4 or 5 sports that are major sports. That's not how it works. You got to look at the percentages. And hockey isn't a major sport. It hasn't been for a couple of years. It's a very good. I'll start by saying this. I love hockey.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees with that hockey is.
But that's the thing, though. Everybody loves hockey. Half of the country doesn't even like hockey. 28 states don't have hockey teams. And half the bottom of the United States can't even play ice hockey because there is no ice. So.
It's a regional sport, yes, but still, is it a major sport?
You just said it, the regional sport.
Exactly.
In America, regional.
It's
America.
But again, it's a major sport still. Just because it's very popular still, you're going to say the major sport isn't popular. Have you ever seen a statistic that says people don't like hockey? What would that be?
All right, the Harris poll, it's the only poll that does this. It's an online poll. They get about a couple million of people to survey it. And they're the only ones, it's weird, they actually ask this question of what's America's major sport, and people have to respond with one. NFL, 32%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but they're the leading ones because it's every sport in existence. The next closest are baseball and basketball, which are around, like, I'd say 10%, 15%. Hockey, 5%.
What's the source of this? What is the main source? What's it run by?
Run by? It's been going on since 1985.
Is it an ESPN type deal?
No.
Because ESPN doesn't talk about hockey, and that's what neglects many people think hockey is not that important. Because ESPN says it's the worldwide leader in sport, but they don't even cover the biggest sport in the world, and that's soccer. But
if you have a problem with that, complain to NBC,
who
owns it for 10 years.
NBC Sports Network is now hockey, and they're breaking records. You say hockey is not popular anymore.
Left.
You say hockey's not popular anymore. NBC is breaking new records.
That's what you're getting wrong. It is popular, but it's not major anymore.
In hockey stats, legit facts. Let's go to the facts.
I named legit facts.
Compared to the NBA, I'm going to give you. Compared to the NBA, the top local average daily watching of every game.
You're bringing up local and regional.
For each thing. Okay, ready? Hockey. The number one average local TV rating for each game. Hockey, number one, Penguins. 11.89. What is basketball? The Spurs. At 7.94. 7.94.
Now you're just throwing out random teams. We're talking about the whole league in general.
That's the number one. No, that's the number one. NBA's most average watch is the Spurs at 7.94 cable rating.
Yeah.
The Penguins, 11.9. It's 11.87. You're
talking about cable ratings, but we're talking about the major sport. Major is majority, and the fact is, the majority of the country doesn't watch it. The majority of the country focuses on basketball, football. How about this?
That's very true.
That's it, guys. That was a good one.
You gotta go first.
You say major sport is not hockey, but if you watch the people that watch hockey, the ratings are through the roof and consistent with the NBA and MLB. People watch hockey, and the ratings prove it. I just showed you. I told you the ratings.
I actually gave facts. I told you what majority is. NASCAR, college basketball, and college football is actually ahead of hockey in ratings. So I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about regional stuff, but I'm talking about America,
It doesn't need to be the most popular. It just has to be a popular sport.
Okay, judges, and the winner is Jeremy.
Yep.
That was a really good debate. I was worried about that one. I was already like, come on. Great job, though. That is a controversial thing. It's a complete opinion. It can go either way, but good debate.
Good luck.
All right, thank you. All right. So I'm a little tired after that one.
Are you ready to face Ashley, though?
Yeah,
She's
go
been
back
doing really good.
You can come to this way. How are you doing, Ashley? You got 2 wins under your belt already today?
I know. This is pretty nerve-wracking. I can't believe it. You guys did great.
You gotta get us like to catch my breath.
I know, no, it's gonna be great there.
Kim, again, you're gonna keep track of time for us. It's gonna be 3 minutes, 10 seconds after. I'm the higher seed, actually. Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting that. But I'm gonna defer to you, so you're welcome to go first.
Okay.
So, Kim, whenever you're ready.
Okay, and your question is Bill Belichick overrated? And go.
Okay, I'm definitely going to say he's overrated. I'd be stupid to say he's not a great coach, because he is, but he's definitely not the best coach, and he's definitely overrated. Bill Belichick would not be anything without Tom Brady. When he coached the Browns in 91 to 95, he took them to the playoffs once where they failed miserably. And then when he became coach of the Patriots in 2000, they had a losing season. They went 5-11, and guess what? Brady wasn't their quarterback. Brady came 2001 as a starter and led them to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Take it.
Now let me just say this. You're talking about Tom Brady. Can
Right.
you let me know who drafted Tom Brady? Who gave Tom Brady a chance?
Yeah, the Patriots.
There's a Tom Brady out there right now who hasn't gotten to play. And, like, you have to give that guy a chance. And Belichick's the one that made that decision to keep him as the second quarterback. He could have gone with Damon Heward, but he didn't. He trusted Brady.
Okay, so tell me this. Are we talking about Brady or are we talking about Bill Belichick? Okay, in
I'm saying that Bill
2002,
Belichick-
when Brady was hurt and had the worst career low season, why didn't they go to the playoffs? 2008, when Brady hurt himself the first game of the
10-6.
playoffs.
They went 10-6 and
How
they
did
missed
they
the
not go to
playoffs.
the playoffs?
Because they got 10-6
No,
and Miami
because
had a freak
Brady
year.
is everything
If you
for the
want, if
Patriots.
you want me to like Brady or Belichick right now, I take Belichick any day. Right now, you can look for another quarterback. Belichick's the guy that made the team. He's kept them good. He has them winning every season.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
So in 2007 and 2011, when they went up against the Giants and lost both, those are clear examples of when Belichick got out-coached by Coughlin.
Okay,
Brady,
so wait, real quick. No, are you saying Coughlin's the best coach in the league?
No, he out-coached Belichick when it mattered most. Brady got sacked 5 times in 2007. Belichick was not creating enough plays to protect Brady.
I'm asking you how he's overrated.
How he's overrated?
Yeah, how he's overrated.
Because how he's overrated, because if without Brady,
he
wouldn't be a good coach.
Is he not the best in the
No.
league? Who's the best then?
Are we talking about who's the best in the
right
league?
now,
Are
who's
we
the best
talking
in the
about
league right now?
I think Seattle's coach is really good.
You think Pete Carroll, you have this on record, you think Pete Carroll is the best head coach, and you brought up his past with the Browns, but Pete Carroll sucked with the Patriots for years.
Okay,
and so you're using false
when Brady, this argument would be so much legitimate if the Patriots have made it in the playoffs when Brady wasn't. If they made it when Brady was hurt.
They're still good with Bledsoe. You're making
They didn't make it to the playoffs. They're obviously not that great.
They didn't make it to the playoffs because they have a good team yet. Belichick needed to build them up.
Championships. They're in the easiest division in the NFL. It's a joke. If Belichick didn't have Brady, he would not have this
But the debate is how he's overrated.
Okay, look at Kurt Warner.
Overrated?
Because he's overrated because without Brady, he wouldn't be a good coach.
But you are saying you said
Brady says right-hand man.
You lost the debate when you started off saying he's a great coach. So he's a great coach.
He's
so how
a great
is he
coach.
Overrated?
He's overrated because everyone comes out and say he's the best coach. He's led us to 3 Super Bowls. Blah blah blah. Brady did.
You can go first. Buddy.
Okay. I think a quarterback can make a coach. Look at Kurt Warner, what he did with the Rams when he came in, took that team by storm and created offensive records. Look at Andrew Luck. Quarterbacks can be the leader and can take over the role as the coach. Without Brady, Belichick wouldn't have the standings or the credibility that he does.
Quarterbacks are very important, but you gotta remember, was it Brady's fault for losing the Super Bowl? No, but he was part of it. It's a team. It's a team effort, and this is the guy that's in charge of the team. This is my time. This is my time.
Game plan.
This is my time. It's up to Coach Belichick to do everything for the team. Brady's quarterbacks, I say this all the time, they're the most important position, but he still sees through the whole organization. Kraft puts everything in his hands. That's why he's the greatest. And the fact that you say he's overrated, it's insulting to him.
Okay, I'll insult him then.
I'm feeling that one. That was a really good one.
Yeah. Before we go to the judging, we're gonna go some quick clips of our best moments of the year. So take a look.
My son to a golf tournament.
Here we go.
And I hear my son say, "I was not afraid to bang a defensive back," you know. And then you got Torrey Smith who burns you with speed too. So they really. I
want to talk about my Detroit Lions.
Dennis and Callie on the WEI show, who is dead in ratings now. They suck.
Those guys are the elite of the NBA.
He is.
Which is
I just proved he's basically with those guys.
No, he's not.
Michael Vick is not the answer. I'm trying to preach to you.
But
Michael Vick is not the answer.
But he's.
And we're back. And now we are going to find out who won our championship.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had our own little debate of our own over there in the corner with the judging. It was a really good debate. You guys both did a great job, and we feel pretty confident that we made the right decision. So, without further ado.
All right, are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Nervous.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Okay. And our Clash of the Rams champion is Ashley.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Wow, how exciting for my senior year. Should I say a little?
Yeah, just say about your win.
Yeah, it was a great win. Everyone debated awesome. I'm so happy I won. I'm so happy I got to like work with you guys this year. It's been a lot of fun, and you know, Clash of the Rams opened a lot of doors, and it really reassured me what I want to do in my life. So thanks, guys, and thanks for, you know, the debate and stuff. Everyone did. Jeremy did a great job. You know, close, very close. I'm shocked. So you did awesome. Good job.
Thanks for saying I did all right too.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. Davidson, Mike, everyone. Everyone was so close. I don't know how you choose winners.
We are losing Ashley next year. That's just one person. It seems like we're only losing one person a year now, but eventually it's going to get to that point where we're all just going to head out the door. I mean, that was a pretty good debate, guys, by everybody. Everyone liked it awesome. Very proud of you guys.
All right, guys.
It was a really good one,
guys. All right, but before we send it out, see you next week.
We're acting like we're going to be gone forever. I'll see you guys next week.
Since this is our last episode, we just want to thank everybody. I want to thank all you guys who work hard every week. You came to the show prepared. I'm very proud of all of you guys.
Ryan doesn't really work.
Right. Yeah, okay. But yeah, besides that, we want to thank Keith Erickson, Jerry Glendie, and we want to get our guys in here. Run our crew.
These two guys.
Couldn't do it without them.
These guys do our production every week. They're the best. They're really dedicated to it, surprisingly.
Hi, Mom.
Do a backflip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, guys. No, seriously, this show wouldn't happen without these two guys, Evan Gilchrist and CJ Mullen. These guys are the best.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys.
They really open doors for production. Thank you, guys. So, great job. All right. Anybody have anything else to say, or you think we're good?
No.
We gotta wait a couple of months to get some rematches going on, but it's gonna be fun.
We had a good season, so thanks, guys.
All right. Well,
thanks for watching.
Yeah, that's all from us for Clash of the Rams. We'll see you guys in a couple of months.